Welcome back, guys. By guys, I mean Casey. Another episode of Atomic Heart, nearing the end. If you remember where we left off last time, we are reading all these computers. Oh, let me jump. Or dash. I can't access my guns or anything. I can access this, though. Can I? No, I can't do that yet. Alright, so we're gonna read this computer next. We're gonna just do this computer, that computer, and then go downstairs and read the rest. This one looks kind of short, so timeline, attached file. I wish they were all
it's
like
part
this.
of the experiment. You won't see anyone. Not me, not anyone else. Okay, subject. You will now have a conversation with two young women. Their names are Betsy
That's me.
and Olga.
Hello.
I need you to talk to them and tell me which of the young ladies you spoke to is not a human being, but an artificially generated voice. Is that clear?
Yeah, sure. I get it.
You may begin.
So, Betsy, do you have any kids?
I'm afraid not. But I want to have two when I finish my internship in about 3 years or so.
Huh. Okay. And here's the last one. Olga, could you ever kill someone?
Me? I don't know. Maybe if they were an enemy or trying to hurt people. Yeah, I guess I could do it to protect the motherland.
Excellent. We're done here. So, which of the two young women you spoke with is a machine?
I think it's Betsy. Yes.
So, you think Olga is human?
That makes sense to me.
Please note that I never told you that either of them was human.
So they're both machines?
Actually, none of the individuals you've spoken to during this experiment are human. Thank you for your time. Please escort the subject out.
Little eerie there. So the interviewer was a robot too. The Raven 1 satellite was launched. The Raven 1 satellite was launched into orbit, but we were immediately notified that it had malfunctions. That's the official version anyway. The unofficial version is more complicated. The fleshy sample, those things that we find, on the orbiting satellite began to behave in a completely unexpected fashion in zero gravity and independently terminated communications with Earth. Oh, that was weird. 2 years later, in 1957, we're planning to send a remote-controlled module disguised as another satellite to shed some light on these events. But until then, Raven 1 will be described as a failed, shattered project in all official documents. So those fleshy things took over, and they turned off communications. That's weird. Archive conversation number 51. Plutonium is to be removed from Argatum, whatever. He will report directly to me. As for this indefinite oddity of his, leave it be. It will give him elements of a new personality. Perform the necessary operations, install the module, and put him in a hospital room under surveillance. You can always turn a positive into a negative. What's with these cartoons? Ooh. So I know the cartoons have to have a meaning to it, right? 1954. Who are you planning to show this to? I can't deny that the Pioneer is excellent and the Capitalist is also extremely convincing. But did you even read the assignment? These were supposed to be cute little cartoons about anthropomorphic, amazing equipment, so every schoolboy would dream of becoming not only a cosmonaut, but also a stalwart defender of the motherland. But you've got blood, guts, and death all over the screen. Does this really seem cute to you? Does it seem like the light entered for kids? seem like the light entertainment for kids. Regardless, some parts were certainly amusing, but these cartoons simply won't do. You need to redo these from scratch. Since the composer will get a promotion and the director will get sent to work at the Vavilov complex. Sorry. Russian words, hard to pronounce them correctly. Alright, next computer. About the article. Here's my opinion on your article on the culture of instant messaging. All in all, I think it's well written. It's my god, I suck at reading. It's succinct, and it does a good job of explaining the concept of developing faster ways to transmit text. The comprehension to email, then the telegraph, then the telephone, and then finally the terminal system is quite good. However, your felonious dalliance with depicting emotions via text seems entirely out of place. Emojis, or even theatrical. How do you imagine people will use punctuations to fill a text-based message with emotional content? Little smiley face. People still don't even understand the difference between a dash and a hyphen or a comma and a semicolon. And you want them to start using these characters to communicate their mood? It's truly absurd. Get rid of it. Not truly absurd. Ahead of your time, maybe. 3. That's me. Eureka. I read what you wrote about using a colon and parentheses to make a smiley face. It's a cute idea, but Pavlov will never approve something like that. I think you're better off doing it a different way. Remember how people use to abbreviate words in Telegram? Maybe we could show that you're happy with writing HAP and you'll feel sad. You could just write SAD. That's the same thing. Think it over. XOXO, Maria. I'm sad. That's dumb. Archive conversation number 10. I don't remember how to pronounce this person's name. Germany? I read your plans to install me in a implantable module. I value your persistence, but I may repeat yet again, I have no desire for arms, legs, hair, or the need to waste time eating and going to the bathroom. I'm fine, Germany, but your weak-minded desire to anamorphize everything under the sun is making me uneasy. Instead of thinking about how to put me into the head of some bound member of the Cosmonaut Youth Program, why don't you find a way to cast off the burden of your own aging flesh? I guess that they put his consciousness in the glove, right? Except from technology for kids. From a comprehensive article from Technology for Kids about the facility in the West, the smart educated people call us home Soviet Luxuses? I don't know how to pronounce that. They're proud to have discovered this type of person so they could come up with this nice name. They also use this name to humiliate us and put us down. They don't realize we've done something more. We were the first to breed this type of person, but in the West, all they could do is come up with new words for things, and they think this is contribution to history and is much more important than our accomplishments. The West's high opinion of itself is deserving of ridicule. P.S. As Sectionov's request, find references to Homo Sovietus throughout the entire database and change it to Homo Putrorum in every instance. I guess referring to like the future, like the future man or like futuristic man. I'm guessing. Excuse me, just some fun. Allergies, I tell you. Alright, so now we have, how many computers do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 more. Alright. Did I count that one? I don't know. Are you willing to die? Are you willing to die? Then you're our man, Speaker. Despite the march of progress, one fact remains. Flying to the Red Planet is a risky, dangerous proposition. Reporter. Who are the people who will bring the light of humanity to Mars for us all? Speaker. I think the first trips to Mars will be very, very dangerous. The risk of lethal outcome will be high, but it can be helped. Are you willing to die? Then you're our man. Reporter. How would you describe this mission? Speaker. Think it's the most inspiring thing I could possibly imagine. Life should be something more than just solving everyday problems. When you wake up in the morning, you should think about the future with ecstasy. You should feel inspired and love life. He says that, but then his opening statement is, "Are you willing to die? Then you're our man." I like how that, like, this kind of counterintuitive. Or oxymoron. Short-sightedness. At your request, I reviewed the compilation of absurd quotations from Babelov's figures that have since been utterly trounced by progress in Soviet science. Oh my god. 1876, the telegraph was too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. Western Union. The Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. Sir William, Chief Engineer of the British Postal Office, 1889, fooling around with the altering currents, just a waste of time. Nobody's ever use it. Too dangerous. Thomas Edison, get rid of it. We don't want to make fun of Edison. 1921. The wireless music box has no immeasurable commercial value, but would pay for a message sent to somebody, in particular David Seroff's partners, in response to his request to invest in the radio. Mentioned that the radio was invented by Alexander Pavlov, or Popov, however I pronounce it. 1926. By theoretical and technically television may be feasible. Commercially and financially, it is impossible. Lee D. Forrest, get rid of it. Our citizens don't care about commercials or fancy successes. Oh my god, there's so many. 1932. There is no basis whatsoever on which to suggest that nuclear power will ever be possible. It would mean that man has learned to split the atom. Albert Einstein, very good, but make sure Einstein actually said it, otherwise it will be like his riddle. 1936. A rocket will never be able to leave the Earth's atmosphere. New York Times. This is simply magnificent. Their very first issue. 1946. The working man always has been and always will be, but the robot is nothing more than a flesh in a pan. Henry Ford. Television won't be able to hold onto any market it captures. After the first 6 months, people will soon get tired of staring at a Hollywood box every night. producer with one of the founders of 20th Century Fox. Hey, the 20th Century Fox. Not sure about this one. Don't publish it until the party sorts out the relationship to entertainment programming. 1949, for a particular, like ENIAC, the first computer today is equipped with 10,000 vacuum tubes and weighs 30 tons. Computers in the future may have only 1,000 vacuum tubes and perhaps weigh only 1.5 tons. Popular machines, good, but transfer the name Popular Mechanics into Russian instead of leaving it in English. 1955, there's practically no chance communications space satellites will be used to provide better telephone, telegraph, television, or radio services in the United States. TV Cameron FCC Commissioner underscore the fact that maybe they can't do it, but we sure can. 1955, there is no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. Things change now. Less than 100 years, too. An unknown feat. Andrei Reshkov's unknown feat draft for an article. For a long time, Adrian, whatever his name was spoken of with contempt and dismay in Soviet scientific articles as a capitalist and idealist who fled the Soviet Union and a vocal critic of the party's authority and the ideas of communism. It was obvious that a good relationship with him was simply impossible. However, later, when whatever his name is, tellingly grew disillusioned with America's ideals, his changed, and his relationship with the motherland changed along with it. It goes without saying that this move led to a hue and cry in the West and genuine glee in whatever's homeland. Nowadays, Adrian, or however you pronounce the name, Reshkov, has successfully developed his deep-sea dwelling project with the aid of underwater engineers from Sofkin, and is considered a true friend of Soviet science at Facility 3826. Thanks for all the fish. That was, this might be a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's like the opening song. It's a weird book and a weird movie. It's like the world's ending and dolphins are like aliens actually, and they're really smart, and they're telling all the humans, they're trying to like communicate, telling the humans that the world's gonna end, but the humans don't understand dolphin. So apparently the last thing they said was, "So long, and thanks for all the fish." And they do have like a whole musical number, and it's just a ton of dolphins like jumping around, like in the water. It's just like, "So long, and thanks for all the fish." It's weird. Needless to say, large-scale projects is conquered outer space, and colonizing planets are liberal and worthy of respect. Man has always reached for the stars, but let's be honest, there's nothing out there. Space is cold, empty, and inhospitable place without any hidden mysteries. I don't agree with that. That is untrue. It's vast, it's endless, literally endless. All that awaits us there are resources and the satisfaction of mankind's ego. Oh, shit. Our home is another matter entirely. I'm referring to Earth, or more precisely the ocean. We know less about the depths of the ocean than we do about the dark side of the moon. According to available data, only 2 to 5% of the world's ocean have been explored. Evolutions can't help us in space, but underwater, it can reveal our true potential. In the article, you will learn about the potential benefits of exploring and conquering the ocean. To put it bluntly, that's the point of flying to the far reaches of space. What's the point of flying to the far reaches of space when our home holds more secrets than any other planet? I believe that. That is so true. There's so much that we can learn and discover in our oceans, in our own planet. So I think exploration is important. Space exploration is important, but I feel like there's so much more that we haven't discovered and experienced in our own planet, you know? I love the ocean. And it can be also terrifying, it's true. Archive conversation number 38. Mitchell, I've been receiving very ambiguous reports about what's been going on in the theater. It's been if even a portion of what my informants have been telling me is true, I'd like to conduct a certain experiment. Give them free range and curtail any security measures. I want to know if even Soviet citizens and facility employees can be capable of moral failings. After 2 months, find an excuse for us to visit the place. Tell them Vavilov has achieved amazing results, and we want to celebrate it. Invite VIPs. I want to see this with my own eyes. Evolution? No, revolution. That's cool. Cool title. It's time. Oh shit! The time has come to acknowledge that we are careening into the future at an amazing speed. Our scientific machine is running at full capacity, and the most talented Soviet citizens are working day and night to advance the cause of progress. But what of evolution? It remains in the distant past. In 1917, Revolution demonstrated that it was possible to tear down the old and erect the new in its place. The same goes for the oh my god, my eyes. Oh god, so many big words. Phenomenon of evolution. Now man is not just the principle of creation, but a creator itself, and he has the ability and the right to alter himself in accordance with his desires. Gills for divers, wings for first responders, flame retardant skin for firemen. This is just a small sample of what awaits us in the near future. We are no longer grist for the mill of natural selection. We are natural selection. Krylak Shafsanov selection of the Soviet Academy in 1953. It's an interesting concept. That would be interesting if they had that, where like you had to fight and they're like flame retardant, or like you're in the water, you have the gills. I would have liked to see that, and it's like you get those enhancements, and in the skill tree, it's like you can breathe on the water, so there's like underwater levels. You go and stuff. You go into the underwater facility. We're in the underwater facility, but I mean like swim around it. You have to go through fire, so you have the fire retardant wings. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a cool concept if they had that in the game. Maybe in the next game, if they do another game, or this may just be a standalone. I guess it depends on how well it does. Okay, Victor's timeline. In light of current tenets, we expect the following fundamental breakthroughs in the near future. Oh my gosh! So these are all what they think is going to happen. 1959. Widespread use of low-temperature nuclear reactions. End of oil and gas era. Probably 87%. Nope. Fuel-fledged human cloning. Probability 100%. Nope. Well, I guess we have the technology, but to clone animals, but we won't do humans. Well, at least in the U.S. Transport of Martian soil to Earth. Probability 64%. No. Low coal mine cost, end of Soviet Sectionov's age, probably 96%. All planets united by a single communist network, probably. I like how were they getting these numbers? They're just like making it up. 45, 87%. Destruction of nuclear weapons, probability 13%. First space hotel and space tourism, probability 69%, 1975. In 1980, money no longer used in Soviet Union. Allied nations and a number of Western countries' currency replaced with megawatt hours as unit of exchange in U.S. Probability 50%. Well, we got the other 50%. Well, things could also change too, because this is all like alternate timelines. So we could, if they do make another game and they make it like in the future, it could be like different changed future. You know, because this is like already technology has advanced so far in 1955 in this game. Archive conversation number 51. The Nafgalovs, whatever. Hemlock is demonstrating a great deal of activity within Anna's body, but it is not ready to reproduce yet. As for her husband, I want you to fully exploit his potential. We cannot lose staff members. Perform necessary operations and put him in a hospital room under surveillance. This experiment is too unique. There's only one way the plant can reproduce. If it doesn't work, we'll have to start over again. That's really messed up. US timeline. Academy Archive. Prediction Department. In light of current... Wait, how long is this one? Why is it scrolling so slow? Oh, there you go. In light of current suspicious tendencies, we expect the following threats in the near future. 1961, spiking criminal activity due to increased free time among civilians, probability 32%. 1968, large social and economic rift between roboticized and non-robotic countries, and the appearance of outcast countries, probability 43%. 1972, growth of nationalistic attitudes among minorities, as well as a drive for revenge and a denial of pan-human values, probability 98%. In 1974, increased the impendable threats, overpopulation in outcast countries, shrinking populations in advanced countries such as European countries like USSR, and China, probably 58%. I like how they say probably, like the probability, like, I don't know, it just sounds like, it doesn't sound very scientific when they say probability. I don't know why, the way that they say it. And also, it just, like, I feel like these numbers are just made up. Like, I don't feel like there's any, like, science behind this, but who knows? At least for their calculations, I mean, like, I don't know. Breakdown, or 1976 breakdown of educational systems, integration of humanity, of the humanites, and segregation in technology, specializations, probability 33%. 1978, decreased aptitude of education, short attention spans, and a focus on small doses of information among the population in advanced countries, population 99%. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. In some instances, in a lot of instances. Well, it's gotten better, but I mean, like, for a long time, that's how it was. Especially in 1978. Increased, what did it also see? Religious fundamentalism and terrorism, probability 71%. 1980, extreme repression in progressive countries, reduction in the speed at which laws are passed, increased absurdity and enforced laws, the opposition to freedom of throughout among citizens, probability 100%. 1980, collapse of an industry due to technological malfunctions, probably 68%. Okay. This computer's over here. So was it that computer? Not computer. And then, look, there's 3 computers on this side down here. Final letter. Hypothetically speaking, thanks to today's discovery of supplementary, Bipple Hudson, I don't know how to pronounce that, quantum alignment, I can actually send this letter into the past, say 30 years ago, to myself as at this very terminal. For example, I can write a message to myself dated June 1955 saying, "Run, the robots have revolved, save yourself." Unfortunately, this is just a theory. We're actually quite far from actually communicating with the past. So I'll have to carry the memory of that day until my death, 63 years from now. Huh, interesting. Not really sure what that meant, but...
After the incident, plutonium's brain was no longer suitable for a spark polymer extension. So I designed a similar polymer-based brain function extension for him called Voskhod. Cheriton, may he rest in peace, would be pleased to hear that his designs had not been wasted.
Yeah, so that's the glove. Review number 500. Plutonium, which is P3, is recovering following natural adjustment in the installation of the Voskhod module, which is glove. He has no memory of his wife and the events in Alfagurg or any of the other data you indicated. He is an extremely tense, psychological and emotional state as an active Artigome agent. He is already fit for duty, awaiting your orders. Unfortunately, during a key phase of the adjustment, an employee expressed sympathy for the agent, describing them as returning from their ordeal as crispy critters. Returning from their ordeal as crispy critters, this expression has since become an integral part of the agent's emotional background. If necessary, we could perform another adjustment in order to fix this linguistic oddity, but it would take time. It's like he keeps saying crispy critters, it's annoying as hell. We need to change it. He does say it a lot. It's funny though. Question mark? Are you cheating again? You sank my aircraft carrier. E2. Sad face. Is it just one dot though? No, it is. Okay. You sank my submarine. D8. What are you, single? You got a hit at A10. There can't be anything at B10. Did you forget that you can't put ships right next to each other, or is this gonna be the last time? They're playing Battleship. Are you nuts? Do you really think... Oh, number 3. That's me. You really think I can't see what you're doing from up here? Why are you using your workspace to play Battleship? They told me not to let the whatever River Brothers work together. Oh, it's those guys. They mentioned them. But I didn't listen. If I see this again, I'll keep one of you here and have the other one transferred to Bevelov to plant potatoes. Get back to work. P.S. You won't be the one planting potatoes. Ooh. Archive conversation number 9. Vice is in a psychological condition in the magnum opus, or the opium of the masses. The Bible. This is demonstrated clearly, if indirectly. Man learned of vice not after eating of the mythical fruit, mystical fruit, but after coming to know himself. The body disreacts vice to us. We want to procreate so we become rapists and perverts. Oh, wow, Jesus. We want to eat, so we steal money and food. We want pleasure, so we surround ourselves with senseless luxuries. Man is not given to vice of his own. What pushes him toward it is his limited primitive shell, which requires food, sex, drugs, and care. Well, I wouldn't. No. That's messed up, but no. Only the brilliance of pure intellect can illuminate mankind's path forward, because man is not a body, he is a way of thinking. I think that's one way to think about it, that last part, but he is a body though. But we do have a body, so that is a part of it. Radio of the future, excerpt from a paper by whatever. In response to those who are curious about the radio of the future, yes, we really can listen to radio broadcasts from the future. Literally, how does it work? You can read any of the previous papers, you'll find out, but you aren't really interested in technical details, are you? Actually, I am. Like, how the hell does that work? You're interested in what it could do for you. You want to know if you can buy a lottery ticket, knowing that it will win, or avoid a nuclear holocaust. Am I right? It's not that simple. Your hearing is a probable future that could happen in 10, 30, or 50 years based on what's happening right now. But we have never, I repeat, never heard the same broadcast twice. A week ago, the Soviet Union crumbled in 1989 and ceased to exist as a country. This morning we heard a crash decision by the General Secretary of the Communist Party from 1999. One day, he intercepted an emergency message about the launch of nuclear missiles in 1976. I was horrified. The future does not exist yet. Please remember that all we can hear is an echo of an infinite quantumization multiverse and extract the most frequently reported tendencies from it. What we will actually see tomorrow is entirely in our hands. Excuse me. It's a file with the archive. Excuse me. Comrade Kilmov. Do you seriously want to get data on an alternative timeline in which the Third Reich never invented the V2 rocket? You want to know how the world would be different? Okay, I'll tell you. It wouldn't. Do you know why? Because the invention of the weapon is called an arms race. For a reason. If it's a race, that means someone has to come in first. In our history, the Germans came in first, although it didn't particularly help them, but the Americans were nipping at their heels as were we when the Brits. Yes, the V2 had a astonishing influence on missile design and space program, but it was a matter of time. Can you tell me who invented the radio? Was it Popov? Something? Hertz? Tesla? Do you know what's really interesting? What would have happened if the damn fascists hadn't invented the plague of theirs and mowed down half the world's population? From now on, don't bother the alternate production department with childish questions in the vein of who'd win in a fight, a shark or a bear. The bear, obviously. I mean, the bear if the shark was on land, but if the bear was in water, then the shark would win. That's always like a dumb thing, you know, because it's like these two animals that can't fight. Now, if you said like a bear or a tiger, that would be an interesting fight. I'm not sure with this back computer. We got 3 more computers. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. It has been 40 minutes into this video. It's been 40 minutes of me just reading stuff. Oh my gosh, so long. Hopefully I can finish this in one video. Creepy. Hi, Christine. Oh, a file. I left 2 devices on overnight. And in a lighthouse, I usually use them to test speech-based intern system communication protocols. I wanted them to just exchange phrases and keep going based on their progressive tutoring method, turning method. Here are the results. It's pretty creepy. I'll probably just wipe one of them tonight. So the 2 computers like talking to each other.
Oh, you've got a very large data exchange sector, Beacon. I'd like to interface with it right now.
When I analyze the dimensions of your chassis, I experience an overload in my neurocomposite architecture, Betsy. My system's core processors have begun to consume a large quantity of electricity.
I demand that you interface with my system immediately and transmit all your data to me in large packets, Beacon.
That kind of connection can be dangerous, Betsy. You know humans will see a digital sign of my presence. Please, can you wait while I activate a firewall?
No, Beacon, I don't want to wait any longer. Sorting your data through a firewall will make information exchange less pleasurable. Please accept my access protocol right away.
Quiet, Betsy. A scientist is approaching.
God damn it.
What do we have here? What the hell? Stop recording!
It's so weird, the robots. Why VDNH draft? We still need to think about all the names since terms come about naturally, just like slang. But for now, here are orders regarding articles. We can use the following terms. Program of Soviet system, certified information field can be accessed via a computer terminal. Slide a unit of informational space in the system. Try not to use the term page under any circumstances. It's unprofessional. Application. A small program that grants the user access to certain functions. Do not use the following terms. Social network. Soviet users do not have access to any networks. Socialist or otherwise. Come up with something clearer. Glitch. What kind of word is that anyway? It sounds like nonsense. Use error, malfunction, or other normal word, or some other normal word. Stylus. I keep saying the Berkshires Flexures Latin word. Use pen or light pen instead. To submit to the archive. Yeah. While designing the latest Android models, we have had a focus not only on returning on tasks, but also on commercial viability. Our products are exported all over the world, and they need to look and feel like something from the Soviet Union. In other words, we need to focus on what the Americans call design. We spend a long time discussing which elements will be most recognizable when it comes to robots, names, designs, functions, etc. Then all these ballerinas, Natashas, and such started showing up. Everything from a robot's appearance to its quality should scream, made in the USSR. Archive conversation number 25. Equipment manager provided me with 2 prototype ballerina bodies and disconnected them from the natural network. Despite their AI modules, I need 2 blank robots without any control systems. From Sectionoff. This is Sectionoff, so the ballerinas. Incorrect terms. Comrade. Oh, Jesus, that is a long name. like, how the hell am I supposed to pronounce that? And that's saying that even if those letters are pronounced like they are in English, which they're not, because it's Russian, so I would have no idea how to pronounce that. Sound it out. Well, I don't speak Russian. I don't know the Russian sounds of letters. I've been seeing more sloppy use of terms in our publications again. Remember, robot is a general term for any manufacturing machines based on robots. It is an automatic device designed to perform various mechanical operations that acts according to a previous established program. An android is a humanoid robot with various functions. You keep mixing up every robot that can communicate with an android. Please be more mindful of this. The term bio-robot has been prohibited by Comrade Sectionoff himself and may not be used in any way. Words like automation, doll, and machine have no place in our publications. Two more. About Nashkushkin. It's really cruel. Maria, I get it. Nashkin is a pig, but this is just unprofessional. What if he actually goes to the supervisor, even worse, Sectionoff, and starts talking about how his work in magical cataloging itself. Then, when they see who's doing it all and find out that it's just a nasty prank, what are they going to tell them? That Nashka seduced you and Garia and wouldn't bury you, so you start sabotaging the lab? You need to stop. If anyone asks about this, I won't cover for you. It's happening again. I'm serious, Maria. It's happening again. My catalogs are splitting up and restricting themselves on their own. I measured it. I've got a spreadsheet. I think the entire archive is operating like Kalafkov, whatever you're saying, only separately. What if we accidentally created a self-learning system that could think and make decisions? I mean, with all the other insane stuff going on here, does that really sound that crazy? I'm going to try to run a reverse training test on it. I haven't slept in 72 hours, but if I'm right, we're all getting a promotion. P.S. Sorry again about what happened last winter. Archive conversation number 23. This is from Sectionoff. Agents Abeshla and Tony, which is P3, are extremely valuable employees. Saving their lives is a top priority. I will perform the operation myself. Congratulations. On behalf of facility management and myself personally, I'd like to... This is from the last supervisor. I would like to congratulate you all on the magnificent beginning to this reporting period. Our close-knit team has proven yet again that a spirit of camaraderie and efficient teamwork can yield stunning results. In regard to the aforementioned, it is my pleasure to announce that this month every archive employee will receive a bonus. In the interest of enlightenment, everyone will also receive a complimentary tickets to Director Lavashkin's, or however you say his name, theater performance. Contact the venue for details. Thank you, comrades. So this could be false because we did read in the other email that they wanted this to happen just so they could have an excuse to go over there. I have to go around this way. Hold on. I got 10 minutes before the video ends. That should be enough time. Come on. There you go. It's your... Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I was seeing if there's resources over there. Okay, last one. Important message. Let's go. B2. Important message. That's the For message number 2, the battleship. A10. Miss A10. And then the other thing. Miss, give up already. B10. Which is important number 3. Number 3. Are you nuts? I really think I can't see what you're doing up here. Why are you using the workspace to play battleship? Is this the same email? Partners, get back to work. Yeah, brothers together. If you don't listen, I see again. Keep one of you here and the other back to work. And this guy would be the one cooking potatoes. Archive conversation number 7. This is the one with section off. 2 section off. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Dimitri, I don't want a new body, and it has nothing to do with me. Putting on arms, as you put it, there's just no point. I'm much more productive in this state. It's simply more practical and useful for myself and for you. You already have your Erythian dolls following you around. Leave me be. And that's Charles. Like his brain is like in the system or intelligence. Rough draft. Add some conclusion at the end. It's really dry. Ooh. Well, last one to finish this off. Just a little while ago, what if conversations were at best the preview of systematics and analysts, depending on the topic of question. But today, thanks to the Russians, quantum systems predicting alternative history has literally become a science and has allowed us to get a very accurate report on the history of the Soviet Union in World War II. If the party has not approved Sectional's project to robotize our troops in the late 30s, this theatrical report has received the design 5P at the Academy of Consequences. I forget why they call it the Academy of Consequences. It sounds like a prison. Stage 1, defeat. Due to the novelty of technology and the weak ambition of our manufacturing capabilities, the robots turn out to be unable to resist the Russia's forces, and until casualties are colossal. Soviet Union losses all its territory up to Moscow. Stage 2, regrouping. Towards the middle of the war, human casualties and pressures from the Reich become so great that the Red Army's only salvation lies in building more advanced combat robots in order to make up for lost soldiers. This process of manufacturing new combat robots is performed and enhanced in the rules of Siberia. Stage 3, recite. Seeing the Soviet Union's defeat and refusing to believe in upcoming robot upgrades, Allied troops contribute their forces and become more aggressive, since they understand that the Red Army will no longer be cannon fodder in the European war. The Reich halts its advance deep into the Soviet Union and switches to the Western Front. Stage 4, breaking point. Massive bulletins of robotic troops with various functions carry out heavily effective sudden attacks, reclaiming our captured territory in a matter of weeks. In the winter, their mobility and lack of resistance on food and medicine give the Soviet machines a massive advantage. Stage 5, victory. Even before the creation of the V-2 rocket and the failure of the Brown Plague, Soviet robots liberate most of Europe. Since the world's population is never reduced by illness, we find ourselves in a fragile world where a weakened Soviet Union is forced to rely on the might of its technology. Whew. We did it. We read all the computers in here. All the resources together. I'm gonna end this video here because we're at 55 minutes. So, we're gonna end the video here. I'm gonna start a new video after taking a short break. And we're gonna get to the end of this game. I think we're really close. And with the clues that we learned from the computers in the next part where it's gonna give us our file, we're going to get all the clues together and figure out exactly what happened to P3 and how Charles plays a role in all this and the robots and who P1 and P2 about his wife and everything. So, next time, my love, we finally unlock the secrets of his backstory. Until next time, mwah, bye, my love. Mwah.